Welcome to Wednesday Night Live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills. My name is Nancy Woods, and I'm the assistant minister here. Reverend Mike, there's something nice. He's going to take his older aunt out to dinner tonight for her birthday. So I'm here for him in his place. And we welcome you to the opportunity to just share in the acknowledgement of the spiritual presence that is within us. And that's what our Wednesday night is about, is connecting with this awareness even more. And since it's an infinite presence, there's always more connection to be had. And we start with each evening, each program that we have here, we start with lighting the flames of faith. It's a call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We lit the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We lit the second candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practice of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We lit the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We lit the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We lit the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We lit the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We lit the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We lit the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We lit the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We lit the 10th candle for those who are as yet unaware of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them in our hearts, here at the center, even anywhere, that they step into this awareness. And as we join me in lighting as I light the healing candle, please put silently into this light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Trust in God, I surrender, I'm one with the Spirit all around me, I surrender, I trust in God.
And I do trust this divine presence that is guiding and directing all that is being expressed and manifested. Everything that comes out of this oneness of life, oneness of being, oneness, the divine universal presence. And as we acknowledge this, we are acknowledging the author of our own being. each and every person, each and every being in expression, each and every tree, grain of sand, leaf, whatever's in existence, originates out of this one presence. So as we open our hearts and our minds in this acknowledgement, we open it to an idea that we are stepping into an experience in this hour together, an experience in which we are able to not only acknowledge the wonders of this divine presence, but to continuously clarify our understanding, our awareness, and how it manifests in us, through us, and as us. And in this acknowledgement comes the ability to know and to understand that what is the next step, what is the next expression, what is the next thing to do, just comes forth into expression. We allow ourselves to accept that the oneness of life, the allness of life, brings forth constant newness, constantly expanding in ways of seeing who and what we are and how we are, doing this in such a way that we can all acknowledge the wondrous presence of who and what we are as beings in this place, in this time, and in this awareness. So, it is with great love, acceptance, and appreciation that I acknowledge that I know that there's a Lord being in this universe that is guiding and directing these words and these thoughts. And I accept it, and I surrender to it, that this is the truth. And welcome each and every being of expression that has come out of this truth. As we join together in knowing this, as we say, and so it is, and so be it. Thank you. I know Reverend Mike usually does the stretching and stuff. Well, that's not going to happen tonight. So tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about the spiritual presence of life, and then we're going to meditate for about 20 minutes. But I like it because we have chosen at this year to kind of come from the foundational teaching that we have, that established this organization that we are a part of. But more than anything, I feel like we are about getting to the root of it, that the spiritual presence of life is all that there is, and that we are, in some ways, constantly, as each individual, constantly are growing in understanding and being and expressing this. And more than ever before, I feel like this is a truth that is beginning to blossom in a greater way in this time. And some of it, it seems like more people are aware of the consciousness and the power of the consciousness. More people are aware of how we are created. And even more people are, the resistance is blooming too. The resistance is what our discomforts are coming out of. And I always say, and I have this thing about this resistance that we see around us sometimes. It's kind of like, And I come from a medical perspective from this. It's kind of like an abscess or something, and we have cut it open so that it can heal. And that's why we're seeing all this stuff coming out of it, so that we can let go of that which is no longer serving as a part of the beingness of who and what we are as individualized expressions of the divine. So it is letting go of things that seem to be a reflection of the resistance of our own beauty, our own joy, our own love, our own divine expression of life itself. So I like to start with reading. We kind of use it as our guideline, the 365 book from A Science of Mind. And I know you've heard, if you listen to Reverend Mike, you've heard him talk about it. So I decided that tonight I would just start from that. And when I read it this morning, I felt like, oh yeah, this is about knowing the oneness of life. So when he called me, I said, oh, perfect. Then I can talk about oneness of life, which I always talk about. This is my favorite subject. So we're on February the 16th. It says, a creative spirit expresses through me. Yes. I have not seen, the eye has not seen, nor the ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. And this is 1 Corinthians 2, 2nd chapter, 9th verse. And it said, let us take a very simple lesson from nature. Perhaps from where you are sitting, you can see a tree, and it's nighttime, so I don't think so. But if you might be doing this during the day, you can see a tree in full bloom. If so, remember that the tree roots from which it draws its life are entirely invisible. Unless the tree drew on the invisible source, it would not flourish. We have roots in the mind of God. Our personality, our individuality, and everything we are, do that. We are and do that the world sees is really a result of this effect. It's coming from this oneness of our continually drawing on the infinite. So Holmes says we must come to believe that the creative spirit in back of all things also flows through us. If we think of ourselves as rooted in God and expect divine power to flow through us, our every thought and action will be emanated by the same life, power, and beauty that clothe the lily of the fields. God has imparted our life to us, placing no limitation or condition that would restrict us. Other than this, our life must be lived constructively in unity and love, sympathy with everything around us. If we expect to live to the fullest, I believe that every person is born to be creative and to live the life to the fullest, and to be happy and glad and prosper and whole. It is the Father's pleasure to give me the kingdom of good. I accept it with joy and thanksgiving, knowing that I am called to be a creative center of life. All I wish for myself, I wish for others as well. Sensing the presence of love guiding and protecting me, I go forth to spread this love to all those I meet. One of the things that I find that's interesting is that Holmes touched on so many of the truths that were historically given to us over and over again, and continues to be. And some of it is being reinforced in today's times with science and other things that come along. But for me personally, I think that I like that he drew from so many different teachings. And just as we have honored each one of these with the light, the candles that we lit, each philosophy seemed to have brought us some gems of awareness and understanding. And recently I realized that all these the awarenesses that we have are continuously evolving and expanding in what it is able to say and to express. And in my own experience, being over a period of time, I realized that the way I saw it when I thought I understood it has changed and evolved and grew also. And that the wondrous thing is that the more I'm experiencing it, the more I experience it from the inside out, the more I realize that what I was experiencing and what what has grown in me and through me is an expanded understanding of my own being. And I'm beginning to really see that my world is a reflection of my perception right now. And perception is just that, a perception. And that it's coming forth according to where my consciousness is. And one of the wondrous things about this awareness of the oneness of life is that it's intelligent, it's loving, it has a sense of wholeness and completion about it. It's constantly feeding and expanding the potentiality of being. And I often find that as I move through these experiences, things grow. Like recently I'm understanding things like compassion. Compassion helps me see that what I'm experiencing in front of me with any person is a reflection of me, my heart. It's my idea and my consciousness. And if I want to change any experience that I am going through, it comes from within here. And that seems almost fascinating because it's almost, oh, this world is so much and it's so big, I can't do it. But then when I get quiet and be still and realize the connection and see how just calming and feeling the calmness and the beauty of the spirit itself and feeling my heart just filled with that sense and that feeling, that out in front of me changes accordingly. And it is doing it over and over. And it's done it so much that there's no way I can doubt that what I'm experiencing out in front of me is coming from what is in me. It is the oneness of the universe. And I know that not so much as what I read or did, it is what I'm living and experiencing in this life. So when I share these ideas and this understanding, and I welcome every opportunity I get to bring it forth into expression, because it is a chance to surrender to the power within and see how it comes out. And it kind of lets me know where I am with my own being even more. And it has been a thing with me, and for the last maybe 15 to 20 years, is to see if I could tap on other people on the shoulder and inspire them to look at it too, because I realize the greatness is in everybody. So I want all of it to come forth into expression. But now I'm beginning to understand that just being within my own self is quite significant in how I'm going to experience what has been brought forth from others. So it's a wondrous world. And then it seems to me from the last few years how it has unfolded and brought itself into expression and brought itself from the heart of so many different individuals that I know and experience and have been exposed to. So tonight, for our meditation, I wanted to invite each one of this, because our heart is really a significant part of this, where our hearts are. Because I no longer think of the dark as bad and the light as the good. It is the essence of life that we are experiencing. I mean, the duality is only a technique in which we are utilizing to create the expanding of beingness. And so it is not something to allow it to determine how we are experiencing. It is us to determine how we are experiencing it. So, and even when I say things like that, I realize the evolvement may change that, as I go along. But that's where it is right now with me. So I want to invite each one of you to take this opportunity to go within with me, to just sit within our hearts, just turn our minds, and as the mind goes within the heart, surrender to it, and allow the mind and the being and that surrender to bring forth whatever it brings. And just observe it. You don't have to do anything with it. Just observe it. To be still and know this universal presence, this allness of being, is actually the essence of who and what I am. Who all of us are. So join me if you get comfortable and just settle into this moment. Settle into the idea and the love, the joy, the beauty, whatever creative flow that comes forth into expression to us. Settle within. And relax this physical form. It does whatever the consciousness of who and what we are tells it to do. So we're going to tell it to relax. Every cell, every muscle, ligament, from the toes, tip of our toes, all up our legs, just let it relax. And relax and blend with whatever you're sitting on. Just know the oneness of it. And relax. Allow ourselves to let go, even in thought, of the activities of the day. Allow our shoulders to fall away from in total relaxation. As our arms relaxes, our hands relax. And this relaxation is in the neck, muscles in it. Just let go of all. Just say release and let it be. Even our scalp, our face, even the tongue, our eyes, and then allow ourselves to just feel the breath as it goes in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out and let it go. Allow the consciousness to take our mind towards the heart itself. And whether it's to the heart of the body or the heart of the chakra, to know that this heart is a divine presence, connecting all that there is. It's the connection for all that's in manifestation. So as we stay with this heart, let it be in charge of the relaxation. As we release and let it be. feel the love. As we feel the love radiating from our being. We feel the actual sound of the universe radiating. And then this acknowledgement. We gently bring ourselves back to a place of perception and awareness. Allowing Spirit's words and thoughts to unfold in us, from us, and through us. We let ourselves feel the glorious, wondrous presence and all its true greatness of being. That encompasses the joy and the beauty of it. And the wondrous awareness of how great thou art. We let this love that is guiding the consciousness into manifestation. The consciousness that knows itself. In each being. That knows that the creative wonder is its presence unfolding individually and united with all. Letting the glory of it rejoice as each cell of being, acknowledging the true place of wisdom in this unfoldment of expression. As we allow ourselves to let it be the thoughts that we think, the words that we express, the activity that we engage in. We let it be in charge of this moment in such a way that it flows with ease and grace. Bringing forth that energy that is able to reveal the perfection of being, the wholeness of being, the completion of being. And as it comes forth into expression, we can have the perception of wholeness, of complete health and physical manifestation. And as it comes into expression, it is the awareness of each being reflecting back to us the truth that is coming out of us as love. So therefore the love is being reflected back. So as love reflects, the physical manifestation in its wholeness and in its completion, in its perfect order and perfect function, joy in knowing this, and the joy in understanding this, joy in being aware of this, joy in what's next, what is to be seen or felt or experienced or to manifest, what's next. Joy to be on this living edge of creation, of bringing the newness out of that which is all things. Bringing the newness in such a way that we can feel and understand and embrace the wonders of being alive and what it is to be alive. To be able to say, I release all limitations and know and understand the wonder of that experience. And we do understand that aware, how wondrous this is to be unlimited and to reach more and more as we experience the perception of the expanded abundance of the universe. Things are unfolded in such a way, in such greatness, that this divine moment is a new creation, a beautiful creation. An unlimited potential creation. And it is flowing, it is vibrating and being so beautiful. True beauty, true love, wondrous creation. And a divine event just beginning to unfold in wondrous and glorious ways. For this and all the expanded experience that flows out of this, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, this is love at its wondrous peak, love at its beautiful presence. It is the joy of knowing, the joy of being, the joy of life itself. So, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining me and for knowing this. Thank you. And so it is, and so be it.